Welcome to EuroC Sucks, the weekly podcast where we review and critique the best and the worst fan-created original characters from the My Little Pony Fandom. This show is unscripted and unfiltered, so moderate language will be used. As well, this show can be a little heavy on the critique at times. That being said, if you were easily offended, don't watch. If not, feel free to join us for this week's show. This is episode 40 for December 5th, 2014. Due to all of us being busy with school papers and finals and all that hubble-blue, we're doing a random episode this week with a special guest. So come hang out with us as we look at some random ponies we have. My name is Mummified Thunderbirds. I am the host and show manager. I am joined by...
It's me, Soren. And normally I would be doing something important, like, the plumbing or possibly fixing pictures on the wall. But since I'm doing Commander's job this week, I'm not really going to be doing anything. Be sitting around, like, scratching my ass or something.
I'm Eddie Bobo. I'm in charge of gathering questions and viewer interaction.
And I'm Smooth Sailing. And I'm the editor.
So like I said, we've got a couple of people missing this week, but luckily we do have Soren to help fill in for this week.
Couple of people.
One person, whatever. Anyway.
Commander, rest in peace. More than one person.
Both of him.
Anyway, so let's get into fan art this week, guys. We have a bunch of things to look at this week. Well, I'm going to talk about Nubble Bubble 123. Nubble Bubble. They did a character set for all four of us. Of us in like our ponies, and then us in like a human form, which is kind of weird. I think it's super, because I know what like these guys look like, but I guess if those ponies were people, I guess I don't know. It's weird. It's like a double thingy.
I look like a chick.
Implying you don't already?
Oh.
No, I kind of see more of like one of those... You're kind of like one of those important professor guys that really hates his job at a school of magic of some kind. You're just like, yeah, I'm teaching class.
I can see that.
There were actually a lot of different pieces we had this week of more humanized versions of our ponies. We had the one by the Tartarus as well. They did this kind of cool, like, Equestria Girls kind of style as well.
The Tardisidris.
This Tardisidris.
We'll learn how to say it someday.
Yep.
We also got a funny picture by Satin Velvet of me and Smooth on a ship.
Boy.
I do it. So then we also have a couple of other pieces the Tartarus also sent to us. They send us a lot of fan art. I'm quickly realizing this, of like all four of us all like cutified, I guess, which I guess works, sort of.
And then you got the Femme Smooth, who looks really odd.
Hey man, that one's really cool. I just don't know how to put it into words. It's really cool, I like it, but I don't know how to put it into words.
And then you got a really nice one, Smooth.
Oh yeah, one by a certain Hiei14, by a certain person who, Aurora Borealis is the maker-owner of. This is gonna be a good episode. I can already into words today. That's good.
Yeah, that's alright.
Ugh. Freaking absolutely beautiful piece. Now, if only that, like, blue and purple blob thing that's hanging onto her tail wasn't there. That, honestly, that's totally the worst part of the entire thing. Just get that out of there and it'd be perfect.
Yeah, like blue and purple. Ugh, what kind of color scheme is that?
Blue and purple?
Oh, no! Meme Cat 101.
I personally think the Mummified Thunderbird thing is pretty badass, and I said it in the comments that I would want to see this like on the side of a van, and they're like, what, like an advertising for like a company or something? And I'm like, no! Like one of those like heavy metal vans that have like wizards and unicorns and dragons and shit on the side.
What silver-specking metal bands with
or
like
AKA
wizards?
The Yoxmobile, the mobile we will drive to conventions in.
Oh my god! And then you'll get out and get beat up or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So, going into this week's episode, like I said, we're running a little bit on a what do you guys want to call it? Like crazy train, something.
Yeah, we're going
there
off
it
the
is.
rails on a crazy train.
Going off the rails on a crazy train, and we've got things running all over the place. I've been busy with other things, trying to schedule and work other things out in my own personal life. Commander's got his schooling to worry about and whatnot, and worrying about finals and papers and yada yada. So, like I said at the beginning, this is just kind of like a random pony episode. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just ponies. So, the first one to go is Commander, but since Soren is filling in for Commander, he gets to go first. So, Commander,
I want to go first.
do it.
Okay, let me show you my OC. I'm a big nerd, and
Okay. So anyway,
It makes me feel like he's still alive and with us.
okay, this is Freezy Breezy, and so you see here, we got all the likes, dislikes, basic stuff from a biography. She's a female Pegasus, and her job is a snow dust spreader and frost maker. And I suppose her bio is that when she was a filly, they went, her class took a trip to the weather factory, and everybody else in her class was interested in the rainbow making majigger, and so she was a little bit more interested in like the actual, well, I guess rainbow is actual weather, but anyhow, snowflakes, because they were very intricate and delicate, and she likes the way they looked. But it says she's naturally a little bit hyper as a pony, but so it was very hard for her to make snowflakes. I don't really know the process for making snowflakes. If they do it by hoof or what. I suppose
Yeah,
if you...
I think in the actual Cloudsdale tour that was shown in Sonic Rainboom, the episode of Season 1, I think that was actually a thing pointed out.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that episode in a very long time, so I wouldn't have remembered.
Yeah, it's been forever.
It says, when she was getting older, she was taking a night flight right before the turn of winter, and she noticed that when she flew close to the grass, the water on them, which I'm assuming is the blades of grass, would make a thin layer of ice. Okay. So later she found out that what she made with flying fast was frost. So basically, I guess she would make frost by flying past moisture. I guess it makes sense. Like a quick rush of wind would make it very cold, but mostly with the reason I chose this one for a good is because I really like the design. I mean, I'm looking very close here, and it doesn't seem like it's a pure white. It seems like there might be some yellow undertones.
It's definitely cream.
Yeah.
It's very creamy.
That fits right in with this sort of green, like this sea blue, sea green sort of thing that's going on in the mane and tail. And I mean, overall, it's just a really good design, and the cutie mark fits in really well with the mane and the tail. And I mean, the purple in the hair ties. And I've always been a sucker for Pegasi with goggles because cough cough wonderbolts. But yeah. And they did a very good job of putting in the accessories here with the scarf and the boots for the winter. And everything just sort of matches up and fits, and it's very easy to look at. I guess the only problem I had with it was the backstory was a little shaky, but I mean, it's fine. Seems alright to me. So, if you guys had anything, go ahead.
I think her accessories are really interesting. I mean, she's obviously supposed to be this whole, like, wintry feeling pony, but having, like, the little boots on the front and the leg warmers on the back. Though, why not have boots on the back as well as the front? Kind of does make sense, but it still is a nice bit of accessorizing on your OC that really makes it, in my opinion, stand out from other OCs.
I think they were trying to, like, sort of mix it up, not have this sort of like boots on the front, boots on the back, this very cut and dry sort of thing going on. They wanted to mix it up a bit, and I applaud them for that, actually. So
I just think it's a little bit unpractical not to have boots in the back.
Oh, we're going for realism now. Okay.
No, I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense unless she's handstanding on the snow.
Well, I mean, maybe she doesn't walk on the snow. She flies over moisture and turns it into frost.
Well, then what's the point of the boots?
To keep warm.
Yeah, that.
But, like, the tips
exactly
of her
what the
hooves aren't going to
socks
stay
are,
warm
too.
with those leg warmers.
Don't you argue this. Argue this.
I'm just saying that she went for something different, but it just doesn't make any sense.
I don't think it has to make sense. I think it looks fine. I think as long as it looks cool, I mean, realism in this sort of universe, oh man, we're opening up a can of worms here, but realism doesn't really speak to me when it comes to OCs. What really speaks to me is creativity. And I mean, obviously there's a boundary, like you can't just go fly off the wall and like, say this pony had like a fucking horn growing out of its ass, or like a laser chainsaw instead of an ear. Like, obviously that's a little bit unpractical and out of the blue, but I mean, usually rather than go for usefulness in a more realistic setting, I like something that works more in aesthetics.
It's also just throwing off my my center of, like, this needs to look correct, because, like, 4 boots for 4 hooves, and if she wants to just have stockings in the back, that's fine, but I would still put the boots on her in the back. Because you're not losing or gaining anything from that. Or you're losing stuff from it, but you're not gaining anything. Because it just looks silly, because if she does land, she's just going to have cold feet, and her socks are going to get all wet. But if she had boots on, her socks would be fine.
I'd like to see what it looks like, because I'm thinking about how it would look, and it doesn't seem very appealing to me. I understand it doesn't make sense, but I mean, what makes sense in the universe itself?
Well, there's a lot of things that make sense.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying, like, there's a lot of stuff that also doesn't
Like,
make sense in the universe.
The realm of ponies still has a logic to it.
Yeah, but not everything has to make perfect sense all the time. I'm saying I'm glad they abandoned that for aesthetic purposes in this case, because I like it better.
You guys
And
are
I do
making it
not.
really hard to have a definitive opinion on this, because both of those are so freaking logical.
They are. Instead, let me direct you to the second picture that I put, because
I
it
kind of
is
feel like
cute
Soren's
as
coming at
hell.
this from more of an artistic look, and I'm coming at this from more of an, like,
Practicality,
show
yeah.
look.
Yeah. And they're both valid points. I'm just not sure which one I agree with more.
I mean, look at this. You could easily put little bootsies on those bottom hooves.
Honestly, my personal opinion, I really like this OC a lot. It's one of the best ones I've seen in a while, I would say, from a personal standpoint.
Especially like the tassels that they put at the very end of her scarf. They're actually very, like, I don't know the right word to say to describe this, but it's very nice how they put, like, it disconnected through the actual, like, artistic thing. I like how the tassels look. They're not connected. That looks cool.
Okay, yeah.
While everything
like
else
how
is very... Yes.
I like how it also, tells us that they're tassels without them being tassels necessarily.
That's it. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I like how her accessories match her eyes. It is a genius reusage of colors.
Yeah, it's beautiful. She's really, really pretty. And I, for one, like the whole aesthetic thing going on. And I would say, really don't change anything. Honestly, it's a fine OC, and I really love it.
Cool. Let me then roll the die of fate to see who goes next. It's going to be a 3. So that leaves Medi.
Alrighty, well, this is Leaf.
Leif?
Leif? I'm just... Shouldn't that be pronounced
I don't
Leaf?
fucking know.
It's like a Nordic name or something, isn't it? Leif?
No idea.
Leif?
Leaf is a mare. She's a young adult, but so that means in this person's, it's older than the main 6 is young adult, which I can agree with. That's not too specific. Her relationship is she's single like a Pringle and not ready to mingle.
Okay.
Apparently, Mummified didn't like that one.
That is a thing. That
Oh, God.
okay.
She's an earth pony, and her cutie mark is the earth in the shape of a heart.
Okay.
I don't know why exactly. I think that's covered in her backstory. Calm, kind, and will go out of her way to make someone feel better. Well, Leaf was born in Ponyville. That's where she kind of lived there with her mom and dad, who owned a flower shop. And Leaf got very attached to nature, and would rather go outside and play than go to school. I mean, and she did get, and her cutie mark was kind of late due to her family enjoying traveling, so she wasn't able to convince hers would be a flower like her parents. Okay, so she always thought it was going to be like a flower.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of interesting. She would travel the world with her parents. She gained it, though, when she went on a school trip, and she decided to go adventuring off from the group. So she broke off from the group as she was walking, and she had quite an educational exploration of the world. She kind of just, started learning shit about Earth, I guess. That's where they're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
And now she wanders the world looking for new adventures, and she will return to Ponyville every now and then to see her friends, her old friends, her family, and sell goods and trades.
So it seems like her cutie mark is sort of like maybe a show of being culturally diverse, perhaps. That's what I would take it as, anyhow.
And here's some random facts for you people.
Mm-hmm.
She can make friends easily. She has a tongue piercing. As a filly, she would always get hurt from either trying to do tasks that she could never succeed at, or greatly falling over. Generally falling over. Getting very nervous, and she gets very nervous around large groups, so she generally avoids them. She's very cultured and can speak many different languages.
There it is. My intuition.
I like it. The only thing I probably have a problem with would be the cutie mark. It's a little much, but I don't know how you would fix it to make it better. Scenario.
Just give it an explorer type of cutie mark.
No, I mean, but that's the thing though. It's like there is an explorer cutie mark is too bland in my opinion. This is something that's new and better, but I don't.
Maybe it should be like a solid map.
No, I think I think the main thing is just because it's trying to be more obvious, like Earth style. But if maybe it was more like the equestrian map style, maybe I don't know. Maybe that would help it.
The colors bother me a little bit, but I mean, if you look at it on the background, it's a very earthen toned pony with the browns, so it kind of works. But I mean, I don't know, for some reason the color gets me a little bit, even though it should work. It's kind of like, I don't know about that.
Maybe if they tone down a little bit.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit too bright.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know what it is. It should work, theory-wise, but it's very odd to me for some reason. I just can't. But then again, you don't want to go with just the overused compass rose or something like that. So, I mean, honestly, I'd say keep it. It's fine.
It has the thing for the originality, and originality by blending two things that could, in a more literal sense, mean what she's trying to get across. And it's good and logical when it's explained, but it just... there's something odd about it. I can't... Mummified, I can't, really put my finger on it, what exactly it is.
She's very fucking cute.
Yeah, she's really cute.
Yeah, she's pretty darn cute.
We'll go with that one.
Also, I like how the artist kind of when she's in the gala dress, she kind of looks nervous and stuff, so you can see little sweat marks on her.
She's modest. It shows the personality that they laid out for the pony in the first place. That's good.
Also, that filly. Oh my god.
Consistency.
I want to snuggle that little filly version of her because it's just so fucking adorable. Also, ponies with piercings. Blah.
You don't like piercings? What's wrong with you? I think they're good if they're tasteful. There's not a million of them, so they look fine. The tongue
Also, it looks
piercing.
like she has gauges. Gross.
Yeah, it does.
She's really cute, and I like her color scheme, and I like her eyes, and that Philly thing's adorable. And I like her scarf, and I want to see more of her.
Moving on to the next dossier. We're going to be rolling a 1, so that means we get to look at the pony I brought to the party, which is Double Strike. Double Strike is a brave, loyal, and ignorant pony who loves to fly. He's not very good at flying, he's not very good at handling emotional problems, and often dismisses them as soon as he can. He works as a guard for the castle in Camelot, guarding the Celestial Sisters with his life. He's pretty much kind of Rainbow Dashy kind of feel because he does like flying fast. He also enjoys teasing ponies, and he loves running. He does, like I said in the little personality thing, he dislikes emotional matters, and he also dislikes rich ponies. So pretty much the backstory on this one is the fact that he pretty much worked his way up to become the fastest flyer in all of Equestria. I assume this was before Rainbow Dash was in the picture, because that's just, yeah. But when he was working with the Wonderbolts, he got on the Wonderbolts, and when he was on the Wonderbolts, he ended up getting hurt on duty kind of thing. So he ended up breaking his wing in multiple places, and the doctor was like, "Oh, sorry, you're not going to be able to fly as fast anymore, so yeah, I guess you're just screwed." So instead, he then changed his direction, and now it works for the Castle Guard, I assume just on the Pegasus Patrol. I assume he can still fly, because breaking a wing doesn't necessarily mean just completely screwing it over. He just probably can't fly as well at his top speed before. I like the fact that this one's a little bit more jagged and kind of roughed up, but I think it's kind of interesting that he's got that one braid off to the side. I don't get that, but I'm still like, all right, I can dig it. It's a very simple style. It's a very nice monochromatic color scheme that I think works very well with this pony. The double lightning bolts, even though there's a little bit of a difference in this reference sheet between what's on the pony and actually shown here, I still think it's kind of nice. I mean, I don't get what the cutie mark is supposed to be, or the literal sense of it. Maybe the fact that he's fast, or he hits fast, or I don't know. It didn't really describe anything in the background, so I'm kind of the meaning of the cutie mark is still up in the air.
Well,
but
it's obviously that he runs or flies as fast as lightning. Obviously. No, he flies as fast as two lightning.
Oh my God, two lightning? That's so fast.
Clearly. So that's my only gripe with this pony, is the fact that it's like, all right, there are some things that probably could be described a little bit more, but as of what's described now, that seems like okay. Seems like a good kind of story. What do you guys think?
Doesn't seem like it's breaking any new ground here, which is fine. Not all characters friggin' change the world, but
yeah, true.
I like how this one was at least able to cope with his problems.
Yeah, that's something that I really like about this one, the fact that he's like, well, I've been dealt this hand, better go do this other thing.
Well, I seem to have been friggin'... What was I going to say?
Mangled.
Impaled?
Impaled.
No, it's screwed
well,
over.
I seem to be impaled.
Wow, guys. Okay.
So gruesome.
I seem to have been screwed over, impaled, mangled. But at least I'm able to go in this direction with my now very many holes in my body.
Yep. That's how it works.
You see, all the good and bad things for this pony lie in its story. The part where it's like he's loyal but ignorant and he doesn't like to deal with emotional problems most of the time, I get that, but it's riding off the coattails of Rainbow Dash very heavily, where she doesn't usually like to do the whole emotional problem thing, and she hides it by being a quote-unquote badass. The part that's different is he has a different backstory with the whole, he joins the Wonderbolts and then gets hurt, which is no surprise because the Wonderbolts always get hurt. And God dang it, make
The
it,
Wonderbolts are kind of shit.
make the
honestly.
Wonderbolts
Did you
cool.
see that training camp?
Make the
What a
Wonderbolts
bunch of douchebags.
cool. I'm so
The
sad.
Wonderbolts kind of suck.
Yeah, they do. They suck a lot, and it makes me mad because I
They're
love
like
the Wonderbolts.
actual defense force, stunt team, like Equestria's on-hand military. What the fuck are they?
They blow. That's what they are. They suck. They're like,
Those are two completely different things.
maybe
Yep.
they're. Well, I mean, not everybody can be a two-way vacuum.
It's a pretty good OC. I like how he has a story, and it's a nice story, and he doesn't go too far with it. Stays within that nice realm of balance where he could maybe exist in the show. Like a few years ago, had to drop because injury. That's fine.
Well, I really like it. I like the color design on this character, and I love the monochromatic feel. There, in total, is probably like 4 colors on this pony, maybe 5, including the shadows on the leg. But overall, I think it's a well-designed character. And I'd like to see it done in a couple of other styles. Maybe if they got together and did an art trade with somebody else, I'd like to see that as well. But as it stands right now, I think this is just a good pony. It doesn't necessarily, like Smooth says, break any bounds or go anywhere further with OC creation, but it's still a good pony.
Can I please have a picture where he's flying faster than 2 lightnings? That's all I want for Christmas.
From that, we have to move on to Medi's OC. So, Medi, tell us all about the OC you brought.
Do you mean Smooth?
Medi, you're the last one left.
Yeah.
I mean, Smooth.
This week I brought on Starora. You know, because it's a mix of Star and Aurora. This pony is obviously more of a sky and stars kind of. Well, she got her enlightenment from the stars in the sky, but her talent doesn't really involve it. It's somewhat odd. She's more of a deep thinker kind of thing. If she were in a system of role-playing, she would play a character that is both very high in wisdom and in intellect, for she is very intelligent and very good with empathy and caring for others and things like that. She's pretty relaxed, generally. She's smart in subjects she really likes, but in others she sometimes tends to lack, like especially of how they're taught kind of thing. So, like Rainbow Dash in Testing 1 2 3, she doesn't work well with school style of learning. So she kind of has to go her own route of doing that kind of thing. General schooling didn't really work for her all that well. So her parents came to her and was like, "Hey, how about we instead get you in Celestia's Talented and Gifted Unicorns?" And she was like, and later was like, "Yeah, sure." And she studied, worked really hard, apparently had pretty good work ethic, because when the exam came around, she actually did make it. When she graduated, she went back to Ponyville, got a good regular job, and then eventually a friend pointed out that there was a company that needed workers along the lines of science. By the way, forgot to state earlier, she's very invested in science and magic, part of the whole wisdom and intellect thing, and she got into that company of science and magic and stuff as a regular organizer kind of thing, and she moved up the ranks and is now in charge of the archives and makes a decent amount of money. Her cutie mark came from a more philosophical thing, kind of like when you feel down about yourself and then you look up into the sky one night and you're like, "Oh my goodness, that's an aurora in the sky. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. All of a sudden my entire life is in front of me and everything has meaning." just kind of stood there, stared at it for a bit, and then kind of like, well, that was enough. I gotta get back to life. Oh, hey, Mom. Oh, hey, Mom, you're smiling. What? Oh, hey, look, I have a cutie mark now. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, deeper meaning in my life. That's good. And with a more philosophical character like this, I think that makes more sense than a talent, I suppose.
Ugh.
Like if it
Because
was
I guess philosophy is a talent. Sort of thing.
could have been something more generic, like a beaker with like a magic wand or something. That would have been pretty generic.
Yeah, that would have sucked. That would have been dumb. She likes milk chocolate, dark chocolate, chocolate ice cream, and swimming.
Sounds like a chocoholic.
But she dislikes white chocolate.
Oh, what a
She
nerd.
likes chocolate, 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 and water, but she hates the watered-down chocolate. She also dislikes attention seekers and greed. And besides the poison joke effect, which I don't understand, of her eyes glowing colors, depending on her emotions, I think that's really good.
She becomes a mood ring? Confused.
Yeah, her eyes become mood rings.
Cool. I don't like it.
No, okay.
I just don't like the everything's fine except the colors, honestly. The spike purple and green with the almost rainbow dash blue. As I said, I have a huge hard on for like this powder blue color, and it's a really neat color, but it doesn't work here. Like from a while back when we did Fallout Equestria OCs, we had what was his name? Dewdrop Charger that had this sort of same thing going, but instead of the green, he had yellow. And for some reason, I really liked that, and I'm sticking by that. I still really like that, but this one, the green just doesn't fit in. Honestly,
I think green. Honestly, the green is the only color that I don't like here. Everything else, I'm perfectly fine with.
Yeah, maybe the green is what's not necessarily ruining. It's not ruined, but like, you know what really ruins this? Just blue and purple. I mean, ugh.
Blue and purple.
Oh no.
But I suppose in this case, for you at least, it is kind of ruined by the green.
Change it to... I'm trying to think of something that would look really cool.
I think maybe take it out, because...
Just purple?
She already has... Well, she already has green in her eyes and her cutie mark.
Yeah, I just don't like the green. I would say change it to something else. Maybe like an earthy red? I don't think that would work either, though. Maybe.
I say just get rid of it completely. Just have purple in its place.
Yeah.
Just have the main just be purple.
I suppose, yeah.
Maybe, hopefully.
Perhaps. I don't know what I don't like about it. As long as the creator likes it, whatever. Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Suppose.
This is a frickin' book, though, and I'm glad they're very in-depth and they have thought this out very well, and it seems like it's not just a book of stupid stuff, it's like a book of stuff that makes sense, so I'm glad they have put so much thought into their OC and not just like made something and then thrown it into the corner to collect dust.
I don't like its cutie mark all that much.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little bit just much. Seems like a lot. I think those two bottom twinkles could go away.
Yeah.
Not sure what else could be changed, though.
And maybe connect them at, like, their tips. I don't know why I'd like to see that. Like, connect the purple squiggles at their tips.
I don't know about that. Personally. I don't know.
I'd have to see it done.
I think she's super cute. I like the little bit of fuzz that's happening onto it. I think that it's kind of weird that there's that little bit of, like, there's super skinny legs as well. So I'm just like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know, that's a weird body type, but hey, I'm not judging. I think the tail is a little bit big. I mean, even though I think that still is a style preference that I think works very well with this person as well. There's like proportionately weird, but it all still
Yeah.
works.
There's nothing
seems
wrong
like
with
it
skinny
matches-
legs.
It seems like the style of it matches the back of her mane, but proportion-wise, it matches the front of her mane more. If the back of her mane was more, the tail would make more sense. She's incredibly cute. I guess work on the green, maybe, and work on the cutie mark and stuff too. Other than that, freaking personality backstory stuff, freaking amazing, and I wish I didn't butcher it so badly.